Okay, it's been a few weeks. I apologize. It's been a busy start of the year, and I also went back and listened to the sound on my last journal entry. Man, it was lame. So I'm using a headset today. We'll see if it does any better. Um, okay, a little bit more on Jacob, and I'm baffled. He is definitely my history genius. He's brilliant. That said, I've noticed a few odd tendencies with him that I can't quite figure out. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. He can focus for hours at a time, but in a lot of ways he seems scattered and almost kind of like an ADHD kid. He leaves his names off papers, he doesn't turn in any assignments on time, half the time because they're in his backpack or they're sitting around somewhere actually finished. He goes over all his assignments with you, and then he gets home and he forgets he even has the stuff to complete the assignment. So all kinds of little quirky things like this. He also never seems to pay attention in lectures, but when I think I've caught him off guard and I ask him a question to kind of trick him up and get him to pay more attention, he always knows the answer. Seems to remember every word I've said. So, and then he does this tapping thing, just constantly just drives me crazy. So when I bring it to his attention, he stops for 30 seconds or so. And when I asked him after class about it, he joked that his second grade teacher had wanted to duct tape his hands to the table, but he doesn't even notice he's doing it. So I told him someday I have to meet a second grade teacher, and maybe I'll hold him down while she straps his hands to the table. Meanwhile, it's kind of driving me crazy, but it's all right. I get him up moving here and there too. Anyway, this was a really odd thing. He had a tizzy fit one day. We had a fire drill when he was supposed to be doing his oral presentation, and we had to postpone it at the very last minute. And I noticed it was something I'd almost expect from a 3 or 4-year-old, maybe 5-year-old, but not an 8th grader. Okay, it was just it was way off kilter. I've also noticed he's extremely creative, but it's kind of hit and miss. He'll sometimes sit for an hour in class and just do absolutely nothing. And, of course, we only have an hour, so that means he does nothing the whole day. It seems to be if he hasn't quite got an idea of his own that he knows how to work with, he just doesn't. He gets into analysis paralysis and doesn't even get started. And he never seems to like the suggestions I give him to get started. So that's one issue I'm not quite sure how we're going to deal with here. He's pretty talkative, has a couple of good friends, but he seems to be pretty disconnected from the rest of the class. I know middle school is tough for everyone, but the other kids have noticed he's a bit odd too. And it doesn't seem to bother him, though, when they ask him computer questions, especially about maybe their game systems or something that he knows a lot more than they do. So he seems to fit in okay when we get into that realm, but I can tell the other kids just do not in any way relate to his obsession with history. So, I relate to him because I think it's great, but they don't get it. They're kind of blown away and think he's like some alien or something. Anyway, he never looks at anybody in the eye, really. It's pretty tough. And then even when he's engaged and talking to us, sometimes he just keeps talking about something that has nothing to do with anything we all knew. So I figure we got a lot of... I thought a lot of these quirky behaviors would just kind of fade out as we got settled into the year, and they don't seem to really be fading away. So I'm not quite sure what we're going to do, but stay posted. I'll keep you up, and hopefully this is a better quality recording this time.